proud that we are open for business.
We are now open for business. This is 𝗗𝗏𝗏 bringing you yet another episode to guide you in discovering your passion and growing your business as we learn from experts in the field. Sama-sama tayong matuto sa isa na namang makabuluhang usapan tungo sa pagpapaunlad ng inyong negosyo. Ang Open for Business ay mapapanood nyo rin sa Facebook at sa YouTube. Siguraduhin mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media page at Net25TV. Alamin natin, suriin mula sa mga negosyante, thought leaders at mga personalidad sa iba't ibang larangan ang mga strategies, trends at mahalagang karanasan sa pagninegosyo dahil tayo ay open for business. MSMEs are the lifeblood of our economic landscape, contributing significantly to GDP and job creation. Join us as we sit down with the woman whose passion and life's mission is to advocate for micro, small, and medium enterprises, Secretary Maria Cristina A. Roque of the Department of Trade and Industry, to discuss the strategies and policies transforming the MSME sector.
I'm 𝗗𝗶𝗴𝗏𝗏 bringing you business news and information here on Open for Business. October remittances rise by 2.7%. Money sent by overseas Filipinos to the Philippines rose by 2.7% in October to $3.42 billion over the same month last year, data from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas showed. For the 10-month period, remittances grew to $31.49 billion, up by 3% from January to October 2023. Overseas Filipinos in the U.S. accounted for the largest share of overall cash remittances during the first 10 months of 2024, followed by Singapore and Saudi Arabia. DA and DTI join hands to boost the agricultural sector output. The Department of Agriculture, also known as the DA, and the Department of Trade and Industry, also known as DTI, signed a memorandum of agreement to help trade promotion, strategic investments, empowering small and medium enterprises, and resolving issues such as market access and tariffs for agricultural sector. The agreement covers commodities like bananas, mangoes, and seaweeds, as well as high-value crops like coffee and cacao. Data showed that the exports of agro-based products totaled $591.98 billion as of October this year, higher by 41.3% over the same month last year. DTI 5 assists 27,000 MSMEs in Bicol. The DTI Region 5 office has assisted over 27,000 micro, small, and medium enterprises, also known as MSMEs, in the Bicol region from January 1 to December 16 this year. Now, this is according to DTI Region 5 Regional Director Dindo Nabol. According to Nabol, the DTI Region 5 has maintained 91 negosyo centers under the MSME Development Program. It also registered 36,002 business names and 4,409 barangay micro business enterprises. The assistance includes services like coaching, training, development of entrepreneurial skills, and facilitation of financing, among others. RP's amortization payments surged 759% in October. The national government's debt service bill for amortization payments in October soared by 759.89% to $161.46 billion compared with the same month in 2023, reported by the Bureau of Treasury. The total debt service bill, meanwhile, was recorded at 216.85 billion pesos, 179% higher than the same period last year. Now, the debt service represents payments for local and foreign borrowings of the government. And that's the business roundup for this week. I'm 𝗗𝗶𝗏𝗏 for Open for Business.
This portion is brought to you by Pure Gold. Sa Pure Gold, always mura, always kompleto, always may promo, always panalo.
Ang iyong pagsisikap. Dama namin ang iyong mga sakripisyo. Kita namin ang pagharap mo sa bawat pagsubok. Kaya sa kabila ng mga hamon ng buhay, nandito kami para umalalay. Kasi katulad mo, gusto rin namin ang magandang bukas para sa kanya. Hatid namin ang dekalidad na edukasyon at makabagong pasilidad sa abot kayang halaga. Kaya huwag ka na mangamba, sasamahan ka namin tuparin ang mga pangarap niya. Maaasahan mong sulit dito ang mga pinagsikapan mo. Sa aming mga makabagong pasilidad at sistema ng edukasyon. Mailalabas natin ang aking talino at mga kakayahan niya. Kahit sa munting halaga, makakasiguro ka na makakasabay siya sa mabilis na pag-ikot ng mundo. Sa New Era, karamay mo kami sa bawat hamon. Kaagapay mo kami sa bawat hakbang. Kasama mo kami sa bawat ngiti at tagumpay.
Araw-araw namin kayong babatiin hanggang mapuntahan namin kayo.
Ngayong linggo, kita-kits ulit tayo. Lunes, nandyan tayo sa Barangay 56, Zone 5, sa Tondo, Manila.
Martes, mag-aagahan tayo sa Barangay 12, Zone 1, Caloocan City.
Miyerkules, masarap ang kwentuhan. Kasama ang mga taga-Barangay Tunsuya, Malabon City.
Huwebes, abangan kami sa Barangay Rincon, Valenzuela City.
Biyernes, sa Barangay Malinta, Valenzuela City naman ang punta natin.
Sama-sama tayo sa masaya at makabuluhang umaga. Dito lamang sa
LTE Love
Tony Pet and Everything.
Tony Pet and everything together. So net 25.
They may be called micro or small, but they are huge. Statistics in 2022 show that there are over 1 million enterprises in the Philippines, with 99.59% being MSMEs and a whopping 90.49% as micro businesses. These businesses generated more than 5 million jobs in 2022, over 65% of the total jobs in the country. From sari-sari stores to local carinderias, micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, are the beating heart of the economy. Today, we'll uncover the secrets behind their growth and explore how they contribute to national development. We'll discuss the hurdles they face, from access to finance and technology to navigating complex regulatory environments. More importantly, we'll shine a light on the government policies and initiatives designed to empower MSMEs and enable their transition from startup to scale-up. To provide us with expert insights into the world of MSMEs, we have a very special guest joining us today. Please welcome back Secretary Maria Cristina Roque, who heads the Department of Trade and Industry. Thank you for gracing Open for Business, and congratulations on your splendid work at the DTI. How are you, Secretary?
Thank you, Cesar. Good day to you, and I'm so happy to be here. I really like these kinds of talk because at the Department of Trade and Industry, we want people to know what exactly are we doing para lumago ang mga negosyo ng small and medium enterprises as well as also the large enterprises. Kasi ang focus actually ng DTI under especially my leadership, number one is the international trade and investments. We, of course, attract as many foreign investors and foreign investments to our country. Why? Because when they establish here, with us, they open large manufacturing or they open large businesses. Ang maganda dito, it provides jobs for our mga kababayan. Kaya masyadong importante sa atin ang international trade at foreign investments dito sa atin. Number 2 is the consumer protection group. No, it's the consumer protection. Why? Because we need to protect our consumers and also our manufacturers from the different things that could affect the products. Let's say like the consumers, we need to protect them from products that are below standard. Hindi sila pwedeng, to buy products that don't pass through the standards that are set by the DTI. Pag walang seal ng DTI, you and I know anything can happen. So yun ang mga importanteng role din ng DTI, no? And also to monitor the prices, yun din ang role ng DTI. At saka yung number 3 is the MSME development, which you mentioned a while ago. And this MSME development is a sector that we cannot ignore. Why? Because 99.5% of our business establishments as well as 60% of the workforce is MSME. Kaya masyadong importante itong sector na to sa Department of Trade and also for our country, and under the leadership of President Bongbong Marcos really put a lot of effort for us to focus on the upliftment and to be able to upgrade the businesses of the MSMEs. So napaka-importante po ito para sa presidente natin.
Secretary, naninibago lang kami kasi you are giving now some sort of a new face and image of the DTI. The image of DTI as a mature agency, but now you're coming in fresh, beautiful, you're coming in with so much energy. Is that also the way you describe the projects of DTI now? Because almost every day there's a lot of activities going on at the DTI and there's so much vibrance and energy that goes with it.
Yes, actually, Cesar, if you know me as a person, positive talaga ako na tao. I always try to look at the positive side of everything. Kasi if we look at the negative, what will happen to us? But if we look at the positive, then something good can come out of us. So, I'm also very driven. I'm also very goal-oriented, meaning if we set the goal, we always try to achieve the goals. So, especially that our president really tells us, we need to make things happen. Whenever we set a goal, we really need to push for these things to happen. So this is also the reason for the vibrancy and for the positive outlook.
Okay, that's great to know, Secretary. Now, the first thing that you mentioned, one of the focus areas of your leadership now is foreign investments. We noticed ang mga kababayan natin nakikita rin ang pagsama ninyo sa ating Pangulo at kayo mismo, di ba, pumupunta sa mga ibang bayan to really invite them also to invest here in the Philippines. So far po, what's the feedback and what positive outcomes or results are you getting from these meetings with foreign trade experts?
Okay. We have a very strong economic team. We have now the Special Assistant to the President, Secretary Frederick Go, who leads the economic team and also to encourage foreign investment. So he has a very aggressive and a very positive approach also in getting in the foreign investment. We're all a strong team and our President is really all-out support for us. Pag lumalabas kami, like I came from APEC because he couldn't go because of the typhoon, no? So I went to APEC and most of the, if not all, the prime ministers and the presidents had really welcomed me very well, considering I didn't come as a president or prime minister, but as a special envoy. So our president has really established very good diplomatic ties and very good ties with countries all over the world. So ang ganda ng image ng Pilipinas now abroad. I must say, every time we go, we are really welcomed very warmly, and the Philippines now is the place to invest. We are really considered as a top investment hub now in Southeast Asia and also in the world.
Wow, that's great to know, Secretary. Pero doon po sa mga paglabas ninyo at doon sa mga feedback na nakukuha ninyo, I read it in our research na parang may mga key areas din po ang DTI at saka ng ating bansa kung saan magandang mag-invest dito sa Pilipinas as an investment hub. what are these areas na makikita ninyo na talagang dito tatabo ang Pilipinas?
Okay, so we have, of course, the PEZA. We also have now the Luzon Economic Corridor. We also have the BCDA. We also have the BOI that also has the green lanes, which makes it easy for the investors to come in. So, lahat ng mga kailangan i-process, mga permits, we process that all for the foreign investment just to make it easy for them to be able to set up. One example, yung St. Baker ng Australia. They signed the MOU March, and they opened a really huge plant in 6 months later, which September 30, the President inaugurated it, and October 1, they were already in operation. So, ganun siya kabilis. And then we also have the MERS, which is one of their biggest logistics facility now, is also with us. 10 hectares na all green by January, all green economy, so they protect the climate also. And a 24-hour operation. We are the number 3 where they set up number 1, US, number 2, China, number 3, Philippines.
Wow.
So it really shows how they trust and the confidence of these investors to our president and to our country. So magandang then next year, first quarter, the biggest manufacturing of fiber cement in Thailand is also opening here. Really big, I think around 10 hectares or 20 hectares facility for fiber cement. And what's nice is it's cement, but inside are abaca fibers, tobacco fibers, so they can also use the different, let's say, fibers that are available in our country.
Materials.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah, so magaan siya, and because we also have a construction boom, so talagang pwede siya, and this will be exported now all over the world. So it's also good, and so many more.
And considering that Thailand is a competing country, a
Exactly.
neighboring country, di ba?
Yes, oo.
Kasi parang sabi nga nila, Secretary, di ba, minsan nalalampasan din tayo ng ibang mga bansa, like Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand.
Yes, pero we have an edge also. Like,
Yun, Secretary,
Okay, yan
ano
ang-
ba, sa pakikipag-usap nyo ba, ano
Okay,
po
anong
ba yung
edge?
meron sa
Sige,
Pilipinas?
Okay, meron. Number 1 are skills. Number 2, we have 115 million Filipinos, meaning the market. I mean, other countries, let's say Thailand has 60 million, others have 10 million, 30 million. We have 15 million Filipinos, so it's very attractive. And number 3, the incentives that we give. Of course, all these countries give incentives also, and we also give, especially now with the Create More Act, which was just signed like almost a month ago. So that will really drive in. In fact, hinihintay na lang siya ng mga ibang Japanese that want to expand, no? But yun talaga ang meron tayo. And of course, the beauty of our country. Kasi sometimes yung mga expats gusto nila dito. And we speak English.
Wow.
That's also another thing. Kaya marami.
So damay-damay na lahat, Secretary, madadaanan ang tourism.
Yes, lahat.
Pero,
Oo.
Secretary, marami din yung issues tayo, di ba? Una na dyan yung infrastructure. Kasi parang sinasabi natin lagi, sige, para mapaganda, mas dumami pa, laging problema yung infra. Ano po ba yung contribution din ng DTI para masiguro na itong mga kinakailangan ng mga maliliit na negosyo ay magkaroon din? One example is mga roads, bridges lang, ganon, yung farm-to-market roads. Ano po ba yung role ng DTI para makarating din sa pamahalaan na kailangan ma-address ang mga ito?
Actually, merong yung DTI-DPWH Convergence Road, no? Yan yung mga roads leading to the businesses, which we work very closely with DPWH. So, every year yan, merong list yung mga regions, okay, which roads to build to lead to the different industries. In fact, meron si 𝗗𝗏𝗏 𝗵𝗁 na nagtayo siya ng planta. Ngayon, yung road niya may problema. So, diniscuss lang namin, DTI, with Secretary Bonoan of DPWH, and ayusin nila yung road, which made our investor, si 𝗗𝗏𝗏 𝗵𝗁, very happy. So, invest siya ulit. So, marami na siyang facilities dito. So, dadagdagan niya because of the way we take care of our investors.
So, in short, Secretary, parang meron din po kayong power na mag-suggest na pwede bang unahin muna natin to kasi ito yung regional area na pupunta dito ang mga negosyante. So, meron
Of
po
course,
bang
we can
ganun?
suggest that one, and we also give the direction where to put these roads. Definitely, meron kaming ganon.
Okay, Secretary, balikan ko yung mga tanong. Halimbawa, ito, dahil parang laging tinatanong ngayon, ano po ba yung current state or estado ng MSMEs in the country at parang gaano nga ba ito kaimportante sa ekonomiya ng bansa?
We can't deny the large population of the MSMEs. As I told you, 99.5% of the business establishments and 60% of the workforce. So this is a sector we cannot deny. So we really have a lot of programs for the MSMEs. Actually, what I did was for the MSME development, we have 5 main strategies. Number 1 is for them to go digital. Why? We are 7,600 islands, and the only way for us to get our message across, to sell, to disseminate information, is to go digital. Alam mo naman ng Filipino, lahat may cellphone. So let's say we want to sell the product, we don't have a store, we don't have money to put up a store, we'll go digital. We can use the different digital platforms like TikTok, like Facebook, like Instagram, and others, no, Shopee, to sell. So all we need is the phone, us, and our product, and we can already sell. Ang daming TikTok stars kaya na millionaires. Oh, so
Tsaka mas
it's,
malaki pa sila kaysa
correct,
sa mga artista ngayon.
Yeah, so that's one, go digital. Number 2 is to diversify. We already are encouraging MSMEs to have a second source of income. Hindi pwedeng single source lang sila. Para if anything happens to that single source, they have another source of income, a second, a third, a fourth source. So, kailangan mag-diversify sila. I mean, even big companies, let's say like a Jollibee, no? Before they used to sell burgers. Nung nag-diversify sila to Chicken Joy, they realized mas mabenta pang Chicken Joy. So, then they diversify to French fries, to ice cream too. So, our MSMEs must diversify kasi the times are changing. So, when the times change, we also need to evolve. Hindi naman tayo pwedeng ma-stuck na lang dun, di ba? That's one. Even the sari-sari store, we have a sari-sari store diversification program now. I spoke to the Association of Sari-Sari Stores since malaking market sila and they're also very big industry even for the suppliers, let's say for, I mean, a big corporation. Sari-Sari store, it's an important business for them. So we have the Sari-Sari Store Diversification Program.
One example, ma'am. Can you cite an example?
Sige. Number 1, Sari-Sari Store, let's say they're selling all dry goods. Now, pwede na sila magbenta ng, let's say, hot dog, yung cold. Di ba? Let's say, for companies that are into, I won't mention the names of the companies, let's say frozen products. So they can now sell hot dogs, bacon. Then they can also sell mga gamot. Let's say gamots that they normally use, let's say paracetamol.
Yung over-the-counter lang.
Over-the-counter lang. And you have to understand, the business of the sari-sari store is the pautang. That's why most of our kababayan go to the sari-sari store because of the business of tingi and because of the business of pautang. So, it's just a process. So, punta na lang ako doon. Then, sometimes nagtambay sila doon. So, instead of, punta pa sila sa somewhere, they can always buy from there. Another one is also like, they can also go through haircut. Let's say may haircut na doon. So, the sari-sari store business would know which business to get into where they can diversify. So
parang
pwede rin,
ginagawa niyo, Secretary, parang one-stop shop din siya doon
pwede
sa
rin
area na
ganon.
yun.
Yes. So pwede rin silang mag-milk tea. Kasi we did a study through very famous, yung nag-aaral talaga na how they do it abroad. And like example in India, how did they grow the sari-sari store there is to diversify, which is really part of my program. So that's number 2. Number 3 is financing. Okay, SB Corp is part of DTI. DTI SB Corp. That's the financing arm of DTI. So we have a lot of programs for the MSME. Like, we already took out the collateral because alam naman natin, walang mga collateral tong SME, di ba? So we have now receivables funding, check rediscounting, franchise funding, sari-sari store diversification fund. And we also had, kasi di ba lately, nasasalanta tayo ng maraming bagyo.
Sunod-sunod.
So we have now the ERF, meaning the Enterprise Rehabilitation Fund. Kasi we need to understand also that, of course, the people get hit during the typhoon, but we also need to take care of the businesses. Why? Hindi sila makarecover unless i-rehabilitate yung negosyo. So we fund them whether they were lightly hit, badly hit, or medium hit. Basta na-hit sila or they're in the area na natamaan ng bagyo, SB Corp has funding for them. And then 1 year yan, no payment of interest and principal, and the second year na sila makaka. So they have 1 year to be able to bounce back.
Wow. You mentioned
Yes.
4 already, ma'am.
Yeah,
What's the
and then
fifth
the
one?
last one is mentoring.
Oh.
Kasi sometimes hindi natin alam anong gagawin or hindi natin alam kung anong, let's say, basic accounting. We don't know. Kahit plus-minus lang, that's one. Number 2, how to use social media as an avenue for us to be able to grow or to be able to sell. So those are the things that we need to learn also. So those are the things that the DTI will be doing on a digital landscape because our president wants us to go digital also because he understands the need for the people in the far-flung areas to be able to get messages, to be able to learn, to be able to know what the agencies or the departments are doing for them.
You know, these are very exciting initiatives, Secretary. Pero ang isa sa mga pwede nating balikan dito, yung access to finance or finance. Madali ba maka-access? Baka marami bang requirements?
Hindi na. I mean,
Yeah.
before it would take months, but now they give at least a week. All you need is the government ID and then you're okay. I forgot pala the other number 5 is the franchising.
Okay,
We
yes.
encourage franchising. So we're working now with the Philippine Franchise Association to give us the top 20 franchises that all these people can choose from, and then they can always get funding from SB Corp for this franchise funding. So maganda yung program na to. And this program will also be used for the OFW because the OFW has remittances yearly of $40 billion. So, di ba parate, magnegosyo kayo. Yeah, but what kind of business? Di ba? So, but if we let them, their remittances goes to franchising, then they can grow. Kasi itong franchising, kahit pa paano, franchises reliable na
At
to.
saka replicable na yan.
Yes. All they need is the manual, and then 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3. So, habang nagtatrabaho sila doon, nag-grow yung negosyo nila dito. At the same time, nag-grow din yung franchise business. So, dalawa na sila nag-grow, yung family of the OFW and the franchisors. So, nagpo-provide ng job, nagpo-provide din ng job. So, parang win-win for both. And that will also let our OFW go home earlier and be with family. Kasi naka-establish na sila ng negosyo dito na reputable, bankable, and pwede nilang maasahan kahit tumanda na sila.
Can you feel it? Do you like it? Do you want it?
So good! I love it!
Okay, then buckle up, put the pedal to the metal, and let's ride. Rev,
Kada mustahan na may kasamang pasampol na pangmalakasang kantahan, kasama mga espesyal na bisita ang magpapasaya ng iyong umaga.
And then you discover personalities during the journey. But it was the music that kept us.
Pero we're enjoying every moment na kinakanta nila kasama namin yung mga kanta na yan.
So early 90s, nag-transfer ako sa Cebu. And then doon ako kumakanta.
That's why for this show, gusto namin ibalik yung 80s and 90s.
Kaya naman, magaling manood ng kada umaga 10 a.m. to 12 noon kung gusto niyong ma-LSS, Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Together, Sunday 25. Sunday 25.
Tuloy na ba tayong mababankrupt, Miss Shane?
Problemado na naman si Shane. Pero sa pagdating ng bagong opportunity...
Sino nag-refer sa akin? Ang sabi ni-refer ka daw ni Mr. Su ng Baysay Group.
Kaya ba niyang tumanggi?
Ngayong magkatrabaho na tayo, pagpapakita yon ng suporta ko sa iyo.
Nag-aalala ako.
Tungkol saan?
Hindi mo kilala si Simon.
Love Designer. Weeknight, 7:30 p.m. Dito lang sa Net 25.
Together, Sunday 25. Sunday 25.
Bakit ang aga mo nang umuwi ngayon? Nahuhulog ka na ba sa...
Nahuhulog saan?
Nagkakamabutihan na itong si Gino at Jessica.
Nasa ospital ngayon si Lucy. Masama ang lagay niya.
Pero lalo nang magiging komplikado ang lahat.
Nasaan ka nung kailangan ka niya? Ha? Huwag mong masakin ang puso ni Miss Dugo dahil lang sa galit.
Pero itong tamang desisyon para sa aming dalawa.
Hello, my shining love. weeknights 9 p.m. on Net 25.
Let's net together sa Net 25.
Secretary, in one of your interviews, you vowed that under your leadership, the DTI will prioritize digitalization, and maganda dahil parang fastest growing digital economy na daw tayo.
Yes,
Dati
yes.
nalampasan yata tayo ng Vietnam, pero ngayon, back to number 1.
Yeah.
Diversification and franchising to help MSMEs compete globally. Ito, Secretary, parang naka-align doon sa number 1 thrust nyo na international trade, attracting foreign
Yes,
investments.
yeah.
May pagkakataon ba, parang palagay nyo po ba, ready na rin po ang MSMEs to go into the international market? Kasi di ba, ma'am,
yes, no,
ang
that's a
daming
good
may mga,
question.
ano,
Hindi,
di ba,
yeah.
maraming
No, we haven't like that. Hindi,
Okay.
kasi ganito, when we go abroad now for international trade, we carry already both the large and extra large corporation as well as the SME. Why? Because there are some businesses abroad that don't have also the huge quantity for them to be able to buy. So we give them the SMEs. So both avenues for the big companies and also the SMEs. Example, like for the business of halal, that's also another thing that we're focusing on kasi ang market nun is $7 trillion. So yun, malaki rin yung ano doon. So pinupush rin namin yun. But definitely when we go abroad, we always go to both the large. Example, when I just came from Abu Dhabi, we did, of course, the large, the usual renewable energy, semiconductors, minerals, all of these big ones. But we also go to the Pinoy Mart. Okay, we go to the Pinoy Mart, then we ask them, anong mga kailangan nyo? Anong mga products na gusto ng mga kababayan natin dito? Anong mga mabenta? So that we can also introduce them to SMEs. So itong SMEs, makaka-export na. Because actually in the Middle East, no, we already have 3,000 products of the SMEs that are being exported there. And not all of them are halal, but they're being exported there.
So, Secretary, parang sa paliwanag nyo, it's a two-pronged strategy.
It
so,
is,
nakikinabang yung mga malalaking negosyo, natutulong din sa mga maliliit na negosyo.
Yes, we always do both because the DTI has offices almost all over the world. So, when we go there, the meetings are set already for the large businesses, which is for the international trade and investments, but we also set meetings for the SMEs. So, it's really non-negotiable. It has to be both.
Secretary, nabanggit din nyo yung OFW market. Siguro may data tayo na isa sa 10 or isa sa 5 ng Pilipino may kamag-anak abroad, ganyan. And sa isang banda, di ba, medyo pinaganda ito natin nung mga nakalipas na ginawa nating export yung human resources natin.
Yes,
pero may pagkakataon din na parang gusto natin silang bumalik para tumulong din naman sa bansa. Ano po yung mga proyekto naman ng DTI na para pabalikin na yung mga Pilipino, mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas na di pwede naman kayo magnegosyo na dito sa Pilipinas.
So one is that franchising. Sobrang importante ng franchise. Ang daming yumayaman because they franchise brands that are reputable, bankable, and sure, nakikita sila. So we also have this franchise funding. So just in case gusto nila mag-franchise, they can go to SB Corp. Actually, kung saan sila papasok, their income papasok, doon sila mag-franchise. Huwag na sila mag-franchise doon na hindi nila kaya. So it should be something that they can afford. That's one. And number two, yung mga products ng mga OFW, let's say they have products, we will join them in the trade shows. In the DTI trade shows. Yes, yeah. So, yun ang ano. And of course, si Secretary Hans Kakdak of the OMW has a lot of programs also for the OFW. But for DTI, it's that franchising and also the promotion of their products in the different trade shows of the DTI. And of course, the financing.
Lagi din namin naririnig yung MSME Development Plan. Ngayon kasi parang kayo, hindi nyo na iniisip ang plano, parang kasi action na agad. So parang with the many initiatives that you are doing now, we don't have to discuss the plans anymore, but somehow that is where we see the...
To this one.
Wow, interesting, Secretary. Ngayon, isa ito sa mga malaking problema din sa mga nakakausap namin na maliliit na negosyo. Yung improving the ease of doing business is crucial pa rin. So, please tell us, kasi minsan ang gaganda ng mga nadidiscuss, Secretary, pero parang pagdating daw sa field, medyo hirap pa rin, lalo na sa mga local government units. So, Please tell us how the government has simplified regulations and reduced bureaucratic hurdles for small businesses.
Okay, for us in the DTI, the business name registration is already quick. We try to make it fast. But for the ease of doing business, there is an agency under Secretary Ernesto Perez, which is called the ARTA, the Anti-Red Tape. So they can go to the ARTA and to really present their businesses there para mapa-enhance yung or mapabilis yung movement. But now it's already quick. Even other LGUs, ang bilis. I heard even yung sa Quezon City, ilang seconds na lang, or even sa Valenzuela is also quick. There's Makati is also quick. Marami ng mabilis, especially for the MSMEs. For the international trade, we have naman the PEZA that really processes everything. We also have the green lanes in the BOI that processes everything. So we're really leading to that. Siyempre, of course, in the past, we always learn from the past and we hope to get better in the future.
And Secretary, what we also like about your leadership is that parang somehow you have this listening trips, di ba? You go everywhere, you meet these MSMEs. So far, sa listening sessions ninyo, ano po ba yung mga naririnig ninyo na mga hinaing din ng mga maliliit na negosyante na somehow na ipaparating nyo sa ating Pangulo?
Okay, ang talagang main problem nila is where they can sell their products. Kasi market. So what we do now in the trade shows is, number one, we invite already bulk buyers like restaurants, hotels, people that want to start to sell the business abroad. In fact, in our trade shows now, plus we also have the cart, the push carts. Kasi, example me, I go to trade show, di ba? Tapos nakabili na ako ng 5, let's say, suka. Medyo mabigat na, hindi ko na makarga. But if I have the cart, I can pack it and then just wheel it out, di ba? That's one. And then we also have the Grab booth there. If, example, I don't want to bring it to my car or I don't have a car, I can make it pa-grab to my house. That's one. Number 3, we also have a booth there that's SB Corp. So in case in the trade show, biglang may mag-offer sa kanila, oh, magbili ako sa'yo. I'm a hotel or I'm a restaurant, I'm a cafe, I want to buy from you. Pwede na silang ipakita yung PO nila sa SB Corp. Then we also have TikTok, who's going to teach them how to sell their products on the digital platform. And then we also have, of course, the Grab, the finance. And we also have banks, other banks also, that will, so that they can choose. Like, they can choose from SB Corp, they can choose from BDO, they can choose from BPI. There's so many things that they can, and also meron rin booth doon pala if they want to improve their packaging.
Speaking of these initiatives, you mentioned the ecosystem na in e-commerce, so and that's digitalization. And maganda po yung sinasabi niyo, way to embrace technology for ease of business also. So, sa mga maliliit na negosyante, Secretary, saan ba sila pwedeng matuto ng kunyari online, e-commerce ba yan, e-platforms, e-learning? Saan ba dapat sila pumunta sa DTI?
Okay, they can go to the DTI, they can go to the regional offices, to the negosyo centers, and dun sila mag-inquire whatever they need. There's really someone there that's really going to assist them. So, as our countries are divided into 18 regions now, and that's easier for us to be able to get the information out. To be able to get the programs.
Lahat ng region, meron po kayo?
Yes, in fact, more than one. We have 1,000 plus negosyo centers.
Wow.
Yeah, all over the country. So, if I'm in that area, I'll go to the negosyo centers and ask them, what does the DTI have for me? Diba? Which we disseminate through the regional office. We have the regional office, the base is an undersecretary in our OSEC, the Office of the Secretary, who we give the information to, and then she disseminates it to all the regional directors all over the country. So this is how we get the message across. Aside from the social media, of course, and the different memos or different circulars that we send out.
Secretary, katatapos lang na naaprubahan ng budget. So, alam ba, tulad dito, ang ganda nung sinasabi niya sa negosyo center, lumaki po bang budget niyo, Secretary?
Actually, nabawasan yung budget, but where it counts, the budget is there. Like, let's say for funding, we have good budget. For halal, we also have a good budget. I mean, if you look at it overall, it's good.
How about the area po of technological advancements? Alam po natin na now that you are attracting foreign investments, pero di ba pag lumabas tayo minsan ng bansa, sa airport pa lang nakikita na natin, di ba? Yung ibang bansa parang patap-tap lang. Although we're getting there.
Yes, we're getting there.
Oo,
yes,
number one tayo.
yeah.
So pagdating po sa mga automation, pagdating po sa technological advancement, ano po yung mga proyekto ng DTI to really enhance then our the use of technology by MSMEs?
Okay, first we have the SSF program, which is the shared service facilities. That's where we really encourage them to get new machines, which the government pays for, that they can actually share within the community. So that's one. And then we also we disseminate information. Let's say like for AI, we already teach them, or even for us in the DTI, we already use AI to be able to answer frequently asked questions, to be able to disseminate some information. Yung paulit-ulit na information, we already use technology. So, I mean, the same way other countries are advancing, definitely we're also advancing. Our airport's already evolving, so many changes are going to happen during this administration.
Now, Secretary, total nabanggit niyo na rin yung AI. Yan din yung mga kinakatakot ng iba nating mga mamamayan, lalo na yung the ones who are employed sa MSME business owners. Hindi daw ba darating ang panahon na mawawala na yung kahera sa tindahan, AI na yan, mga ganyan. So, ano po ba yung maaaring magawa ng DTI to prepare for a balanced job creation para din hindi rin matakot yung human workforce, hindi sila matakot sa artificial intelligence.
Actually, they should not be scared of artificial intelligence because we should use that to help us. Let's say we keep on answering and answering the same questions, di ba? Dapat hindi na natin ginagawa yun. We're really thinking more of other things. Let's say we cannot advance. Why? Kasi we keep on answering the same questions over and over and over again. So if we leave that redundancy to, let's say, AI, or that frequently asked questions which AI can address, then we can do more things. So they shouldn't look at it that way. They should look at it as something that could really help them in their advancement. Not as, mawawala na ako ng trabaho dahil sa AI. No, AI will assist as I advance.
Alam nyo, napaka-pragmatic sumagot si Secretary. Kumbaga parang dapat mag-guess siya dito lagi para marami tayong natututunan. Okay, looking ahead, Secretary, what are your aspirations for the MSME sector? What key milestones do you hope to achieve in the coming years? We know that you are now, as you said, you are now implementing the MSME development plan, but I'm sure you still have the wish list there.
Yes, yeah. Definitely, ang wish list talaga is to really level up the MSMEs. I hope we can really lower down that and everybody grows to at least medium enterprises after this administration. So we're really pushing for them to use, to be able to strategize, not bara-bara approach. You have to strategize. We cannot just say, sige, dito tayo. We really need to have a strategic approach on how to be able to level up. Like, example, the franchising. They need to use that model or that avenue to be able to grow. Kasi as we open our country to the world, there's so many businesses coming in. So if we see that our business is already sunset, wag na natin ipilit to kasi lalo tayong mababaon dito if we fund it pa here. Then we shift to another business where the chances of success is higher. So we need to be strategic in our moves, which we are providing these MSMEs with constant information and constant policies or possibilities for them to be able to see what's out there. And for those that are ready for export, we provide the avenues because the DTI has offices all over the world. In fact, even the film is with DTI. So now what we'll do is the film now will give them avenues all over the world. Then it's up to them to dictate, okay, I want my film to be distributed this way, that way. Kasi syempre pag negosyante ka, gusto mo, you dictate the tempo. You cannot have somebody else dictate the tempo for your own business, right?
So pwede yun. Hindi lang sa film, pwede rin yung creative industry.
Everything. That's why we're pushing that next year. We have because remember, we are so known abroad for our creative industry. Our fashion designers, let's say Michael Cinco plus the others, they're so known worldwide. We also have artists, painters that are also known worldwide.
Wow.
We also have our singers that have so many concerts abroad. We also have our artists who are winning now in the Cannes Film Festival. So, things like that.
At Pinoy pa ang nag-number 1 sa The Voice US.
Diba? And then aside from that, we have so many kababayans all over the world na pwedeng tangkilikin yung mga produktong Pilipino or yung mga ng mga Pilipino, diba? Then we just, like the way the Koreans do it, they just put the, diba? They just put the subtitle, let's say, Germany, di German ang sa... Kasi yung iba, they like naman our story yung mga teleseries natin, yung mga so there's really a lot to offer.
Pero yun ba, Secretary, tinitingnan nyo din yun? Kasi parang somehow, parang naging ambassadors pa nga, like say, the K-pop Korean experience, di ba? The Korean dramas. Parang somehow, it became a commodity accepted by the whole world. Do you have something like that in mind?
Yes, actually, there's a drive for that. The president's very aggressive on that approach also, to really get these movies outside and to use also the movies sometimes to promote the Philippine cuisine. Di ba tingnan mo pag Korean movies, they always eat their food. So baka sa atin, ganun din ang maging...
Di ba? Yung traditional clothes.
Yes, and to show the sights of the Philippines also. Di ba? Sometimes when you see there, papuntahan nga, where's that?
Naku, i-project nyo yan. Kasi like say for example, di ba, like the one in Jeju, Korea, di ba? Parang sa Jeju lang naman, parang, pinag-shootingan lang daw. Pero parang, kung titingnan mo, buhol lang to
Pero that's an approach, but that's an approach of the movie industry mismo. And then for us, they'll use the DTI to be able to market it abroad. Kasi we're the Department of Trade and Industry. So our main focus should be trade and income talaga. Paano sila kikita? Paano magka-trade between other countries and also us?
Wow, abangan natin yan, Secretary. Now, what message would you like to share with aspiring entrepreneurs and established MSMEs looking to scale up and contribute to national development?
Okay, the DTI is really open to all the businesses, whether large scale and also MSME. So please come to the DTI. You can message me at reporttosec@dti.gov.ph. And of course, we also have the DTI hotline, which is 1-384, which they can get in touch with. Or they can just go to the DTI or to the negosyo centers. Then if they want to talk to me, I'm also open. Very open ako sa kasi to be honest, I really want this sector to grow. Kasi remember, a lot of the big ones started from SMEs. If you, just try to tell me who big ones did not start from SME. Jollibee, SM, the big ones. So started there. So we have a lot of stars, upcoming stars. They're just waiting to be discovered.
Okay. And what's your outlook for 2025, Secretary?
Okay, the outlook for 2025, of course, is always positive, as how I always want it to be. And I always try to look for more avenues for them to be able to sell, to be able to grow. A lot of the big ones are also willing to support the SMEs. So we have a lot of help for the SMEs.
Wow, maraming salamat po, Secretary. At siguro ang huling tanong ko ay natutulog pa ba kayo? How do you relax, Secretary?
Wala. These ones, I get my drive from really wanting to level them up. Just to give one, let's say the SM Group has given us 83 malls, and they established the ground floor space for SMEs. So those are spaces that they just don't give. So
pag ganun, Secretary, parang you allot that to MSMEs under the DTI na.
Yes, under the DTI. Then we give the names to them. And then not just that company, there's so many other companies that are, like example, for a big fast food chain. We also had how to be a supplier of the big fast food chain of Jollibee, let's say. So the SMEs now, they open the doors to the SMEs, and all the procurement people are there. The head procurement for all their businesses are there. So there's really a lot of help. They just need to go to the DTI so that they can choose which one fits their businesses.
This is really very exciting. Thank you, Secretary Maria Cristina A. Roque, the Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry.
Handa na ba kayo?
Kikita ni Mela Jane Veloso at ng
Paratang ni dating Pangulong Duterte.
Bangag natin ang presidente.
I think it's the fentanyl.
Yawanan lamang ang paratang ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Isulong ang People's Initiative.
Para naman pakialam yung senador o yung miyembro ng Congress sa People's Initiative.
Walang gamot sa kakapalan ng mukha mo.
Kamara nanawagan ng ceasefire sa Senado. Kaugnay sa issue ng People's
Initiative. Mga tinuturi kong mga kaibigan ay nag-traitor paso.
Ito ba yung kinalaman naman ng Vice Presidente na ibigay?
Intended my resignation as the Secretary of Education effective.
Dahilan ng kanyang pagdidikit.
Sa Indonesia, si dismissed
Your Honor, hindi ko po alam.
Pagdinig ng Senado sa issue ng sexual abuse.
Wala pong katotohanan yung kanilang mga sinabi.
Kanya po itong itinanggi ang mga alegasyon lang.
Na sa pagdinig ng Senado.
I and I alone take full legal, moral responsibility.
Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at si tayong Vice President Sara.
Pag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta at si Martin Romales.
Yan ay aking papalagan.
Handa ka na ba sa 2025?
Ang Net 25 Year-End Report.
Martes, December 31, alas 8 ng gabi.
Dito sa
Net 25.
And our buzzword of the week is bootstrapping. The term bootstrapping refers to a situation in which an entrepreneur starts a company with little capital. When an individual bootstraps, they rely on money other than outside investments. While there are many hurdles, MSMEs continue to thrive, adapt, and innovate, showcasing their resilience and tenacity. The Department of Trade and Industry, under the leadership of MSME Advocate Secretary Maria Cristina Roque, stands at the forefront of efforts to empower MSMEs, ensuring they have the tools, resources, and support needed to flourish. Through strategic policies, training programs, and innovative initiatives, DTI is committed to creating an enabling environment where MSMEs can transition from startups to scalable enterprises. And with that, our quote for the week is from Mr. George T., a self-made taipan and banker. He said, "For me, business is not just about reaching the pinnacle of success. It is about helping other people achieve their dreams. This is my ikigai, and I was fortunate to have found it early in my life." Very aligned to what Secretary mentioned earlier. Thank you, Secretary Chris. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Cesar.
Makasama pa po namin kayo
Yes,
sa susunod
of course,
na mga
anytime.
episodes.
Yes,
At kung
oo.
may mga proyekto po kayo, sabihin nyo lang po sa amin
Yes.
para ma-cover din namin. Maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin upang tunghayan ang isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli sa Open for Business. Catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page at Net25 TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen. Feel the pulse and set the trend for as long as you're informed and open for business. Ito po si 𝗗𝗶𝗶𝗏𝗧𝗩. Marami pong salamat.